To kick off and maneuver along here with phone calls in hour number 2. Steelers and all the other games, too. I just want to get the Steeler out there. That game deserved a monologue by itself. Here's Hayden in Virginia. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Hayden, good afternoon. How are you today? What's going on?
Dog, first off, in the Minnesota game, I don't understand these defenses. A previous caller brought it up. The alignment that these defenses have in these Hail Mary type situations, it's mind-boggling how dumb they are. That kid is the only kid back there. And I thought, even if he cuts his legs out, I thought Diggs might get out of bounds anyway.
Yeah, and stop the clock, and then they kick a 50-yard field goal. Yeah, that was poorly played. Poorly played. Yep.
It's just mind-boggling, and we all, you went through all the different things, and it was just great for me to watch Turp take that ball down the field. I was happy to see Diggs. That kid being a fifth-round pick, dog, just shows you how dumb these scouts. I'm telling you, dog, he was the best wide receiver in Maryland history, and because these dopes thought he was undersized and a little banged up as a junior, they had him as a fifth-round pick. He took like his first kickoff as a college right off the house, 100 yards. He's
a great player. Diggs is a underrated, unheralded wide receiver. He's a dynamic player. I don't understand. The kid made a terrible play, but I do not understand the Saint defense. And in those sequences, keep a guy, if not two, back at the goal line in that sequence. And now listen, you have to protect the sideline because they could still run a play. And there was 14 seconds when they ran the play. So you could still run a play at the sideline.
I think there were 10 seconds.
I think it was 14, but we can double check it. I thought it was 14.
Double check that one.
But regardless, I mean, they were in a sequence where they could still make a play and get out of bounds and kick the field goal. So you got to protect the sideline, but keep a guy back there in the last line of defense, and they didn't do that. Go ahead. Next.
It overwhelms what was really an incredible second half for the Saints. I mean, they came out. I mean, Breeze was that was as good of a second half. I know some of the Vikings got banged up, but him and Thomas and Kamara, they were so on point that was, in my opinion, I thought I was watching the NFC title game, and I just really overwhelmed.
Great second half, a great second half of football. That was a championship level second half of NFL football. Nothing else to say. You're 1,000% correct. I thought the Saint Panther game was a great game too. Not nearly as good as this one. That game was a wonderful finish. I didn't think Forbath would make the 54-yard field goal, so I give him credit. I didn't like the way the Saints ran their offense on their last possession. We've gone through every play. They should have made sure that was the last play of the game, the field goal. They had a chance to do that. They did not. They left Minnesota 25 seconds in a timeout. That's way too much time in that sequence indoors with a kicker who just made a 54-yarder. I didn't like that. But overall, and then it had a tremendous finish with the drama. So you were right on. What's your second point?
You've also got someone's at the end of that game, dog. The NFL has absolutely no common sense. I mean, this league is run amok. And the fact that they're reviewing that touchdown and bringing the Saints back on the field for a meaningless extra, let them die. Let them have their funeral in the locker room. I mean, there's such. I mean,
it's all about the gambling. It's all about the gambling there in that sequence. They had to give the Saints. They had to give the Saints the option of whether trying the extra point or taking a snap. The spread, as it turned out, was significant, 5.5, and that's a rule. So to me, it's not the end of the world. I understand your point there, but then you're going to sit there and when is it not necessary to kick the extra point? How about if you scores with 2 seconds to go?
You can see that when you walk off touchdown, dog, a team should be allowed to concede the extra point. Let's be honest. All he had to say to the referee was, "We're taking a knee." Doesn't make a difference. It's a dog. I'm just saying. It's a league that has no common sense.
I don't think it's. I think you can't, Hayden. You can't sit there and watch 12 hours of football this weekend, and that's what you come away with, that the league's got to fix this scenario with the extra point. That's not fair.
No, I'm just saying, dog, I see it every weekend. The league run amok. But as far as the Steelers go, dog, their defense, they were beating this. Let's give Jacksonville did them a favor, because all they would have done next week is embarrass themselves. And they would have ran their mouths for a week anyway and gotten punched in the mouth by the Patriots anyway, dog. I mean, their defense had no chance. Once Shazier went down, their linebackers gave no chance to stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. And you could say anything you want about that offense, like you said, all the fourth downs, everything like that. Their defense gave them no chance at all to win that game.
The defense killed them. And that is why I can't go crazy on an onside kick. Okay, I can't go crazy on an onside kick when your defense has allowed Blake Bortles to score 40 points in the game. That I can't do. That's not fair. I'm not going to allow that to happen. Not on this watch. You want to sit there and say you don't like the kick? It's a bad play. The kicker did a terrible job. First to admit. And it killed him. The kick killed him. It cost him 15. The kick cost him 10 yards. I mean, if he kicks the ball and they don't get it, at least Jacksonville still has to get a first down in that sequence. I tell you would have been doing me a favor if I was a Jaguar fan. You kicked off. Those onside kicks scare the hell out of me in those situations. They always have. Here's Nick in Comac, Long Island, Mad Dog Unleashed. Nick, good afternoon. How are you today?
Chris, thank you so much, pal, for taking the call. Chris, I just want to give you my point of view, but there's a couple of guys that definitely deserve all the blame. And let's start with Dennis Allen first, okay? 10 seconds left in the game. 10 seconds. They've got the ball on their own 39. I played a little ball in my day, watched enough of it. You and I are the same age, 50 years plus of watching football. Okay. You rush 3. You take 4 of your best athletes and you tell them put your heels on the 20-yard line. Gap integrity, gap responsibility. That's 7 players. Then you take 4 other players, okay, and you put them in the middle of the field. Obviously, you're going to cover the sidelines, but you're going to give them the middle of the field. Dennis Allen is a defensive coordinator, deserves a ton of blame.
Fair enough. Now, he's done a good job at that defense, but it didn't work, and there was no finishing line of defense. So if you want to get on him for that, I don't have any. Now, you have to rush 3 guys because you can't sit there and let the quarterback sit there forever before he throws the ball. So you have to rush 3 guys.
Exactly, Chris. You rush 3. Chris, listen to me. I couldn't believe when he spun out of that horrendous technical so-called tackle by the rookie, and there was nobody behind him. Okay, so that argument is we've addressed that. Now, I want you to listen to my point of view for a second. Okay, as far
as what, Nick? Did we lose you?
Well,
go ahead.
Let's
say
the onside kick is 10% successful. Let's just throw it out there, okay, Chris? But let's look at it from the flip side of the coin, okay? It's a 7-point game. Now, let's just say he decides to kick the ball off.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Okay, now, let's say that Jacksonville gets the ball on the 25-yard line.
Right.
Now, hear me out on this. The Steelers have 2 timeouts.
Correct.
And they have a 2-minute warning.
Right.
Wouldn't you rather take your chances on a stop on first down, a stop on second down, because Jacksonville's
I'm not so sure. I am not so sure about. See, you guys assuming, Nick, that Jacksonville's going to run the ball 3 straight times. They did not run the ball 3 straight times when they had the lead in the 4th quarter with a 7-point lead. They threw bombs all over the place. Bombs. They were throwing the ball. What makes you think 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line? At the 25-yard line with 2:11 left, you're telling me right now the Bortles won't throw a 6-7-yard pass play in the middle of the field to give him 2nd and 3? Going into the 2-minute warning, and then if you get 3 yards on 2 carries, the game is over. Finished. You can't win. They need a 6 to a 7-yard completion to finish you off with a defense that has played Blake Bortles into Johnny Unitas in half number 2. I'm sorry. I can't go crazy on that. That's not fair. I know the coaches out there and cower. I understand that. Boomer, I get it. It's the obvious thing. Kick the ball off, and it's debatable. I know from a timeout perspective and where the 2-minute clock is, we all know that if you stop them on 3 downs, you got a very good chance to get the ball back with 1:40, no timeouts. With that offense, got a chance to tie the game. We get that. We understand that. But what you cannot say for sure is that you're getting them off the field. You have not gotten them off the field the whole football game. They have not gotten off the field. Matter of fact, just to give you the statistics in the game, if I may for a minute, before you guys go crazy. You know what Jacksonville did in this game offensively? Do you have any idea? They rushed for 164 yards. They 164 yards they rushed the ball for. They had 22 first downs, and they really had the ball. You know, Jacksonville only had the ball for 28 minutes because they scored. They had such a big lead in this game. They had 400 yards of offense. This is Jacksonville in a playoff game, for crying out loud. I don't have any problem. They rushed for 164. Fournette 109, Bortles 35, Yeldon 20 yards, and plus Yeldon caught 3 balls for 60 yards. I mean, come on. This is an awful offensive team. You're so sure you're going to get the ball back? I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Steve's got a sports bite. We'll come right back here on Mad Dog Unleashed.
Mad Dog Sports Radio.